Plans for peace talks in Syria have collapsed as Russia continues airstrikes over the country in support of the Assad regime. Meanwhile, the international community is raising billions of dollars in humanitarian aid for Syria, including over $900 million from the United States alone. This has raised questions from critics about where those funds are actually going, some even suggesting the Assad regime is going to get it to support its own military campaign against the Syrian people. Stephen Yates, former Deputy Assistant for National Security to Vice President Dick Cheney, joins us now to weigh in. Stephen, you know, it is a very dangerous game when you provide a lot of money to such a war-torn area. How the heck do we know where that money goes?
Well, actually, that's very much a risk, and we learned a lot about that risk in the wake of the withdrawal from Iraq and ISIS coming in and inheriting a lot of material from fleeing Iraqis at the time. We have gone from a time during Arab Spring where the administration said Assad must go to now, 4 years later, a situation where it looks like Assad is likely to stay, with Iran and Russia making that so. And so it's very clear risk that this aid could end up in the hands of the Assad regime.
Well, the question is, look, what is the future of Syria? It's been the civil war. It's been going on for years now. There's attempt at a peace talks that kind of fell apart. The Russians continue their airstrikes in the area. They say they're going after ISIS, but of course they're also targeting those forces opposed to Assad. I mean, what is the long game here? How is this thing going to get resolved?
Well, I see a kind of a 2016 scenario and then the longer term. I mean, in 2016, there seems to be no chance that the Obama administration is going to take a significantly different approach to this. And with that drift in place, we still have a lot of pressure on refugee flows out of Syria. We still have some fairly aggressive moves by both Moscow and Tehran to shift this to a decisive point. With ISIS as their named target, but really it's about winning the civil war for Assad. It really could get pushed to a conclusion in 2016 by the forces backing Assad, and it leaves a bad set of options for the next president of the United States. Well,
very quickly, almost out of time, Russia's involvement in all of this, how much does that complicate it?
It's greatly complicated because very clearly they're not coordinating what they do. They engaged in an air attack during the UN peace talks. So it's very clear they're operating under their own agenda.
All right, we're already out of time. Stephen Yates, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it.